Hello, I'm Quinny. Welcome to the channel. In this video today, guys, we are going through episode 6 of how to build your club on SoRare. So far in this playlist, guys, we've covered a wide array of topics. If you haven't checked the playlist out yet, I was actually checking the view count on the playlist itself. It's actually kind of low. It's a playlist I'm actually very fond of. I've put a lot of time and effort into. So no matter where you are in your SoRare journey, the links will be, at the end of this video anyway. But you can just click in how to build your SoRare club on the main channel and you'll find it there. It's really good. No matter where you're at in your SoRare journey, I think there's some valuable lessons, hints and tips and strategies and all that kind of stuff in the playlist already. Episode 6 today, we're talking about the stack attack. We're talking about stacking, the pros, the cons, the way to do it, the way not to do it, all that good stuff, guys. At any time in the video, you laugh, you learn, you like something, whatever, please do like the video. Helps other people find it, goes a long way to supporting me, means a lot. You've got no idea. If you've watched a few of these videos and you've not already, please do subscribe to the channel. Just means you'll get notifications for when we go live and when new content is getting dropped. Yeah, like, subscribe, share, retweet, all the good stuff, guys. Stay out of trouble, and let's get stuck into it. Now, first of all, what is stacking? Okay, now if you've played any sort of fantasy game before, it will probably be a strategy you're familiar with, if maybe not the name of it as such. And it's basically just when you've got a plum fixture for a team, you play as many of those cards as you can to try and maximise the correlation that they're going to receive from beating a team 6-0 or whatever it might be. With SoRare, when I first stumbled upon the platform and the premise of it, and basically the premise of it, stacking couldn't have been any further from my mind. If anything, it's the exact opposite of what, for lack of a better term, turns me on to SoRare, and that is, I love picking up cards from different regions, different territories, different clubs, all that kind of stuff, piecing them all together. Who's the midfielder with the best fixture? Who's the goalkeeper that's likely to get a clean sheet? Who's the defender, this and that and the other, And that's what I find really fun about building teams, buying cards, assembling, squad depth, strategies, all that kind of stuff. That's what really gets me going. Now, correlation on fixture list and, preferential fixtures is very important to SO5, and thanks to SoRare Data, we now have a tool on SoRare Data known as the combos, which just lays it out for you right there in front of you in raw data format. Exactly the actual correlation on the football pitch to your goalkeeper getting a clean sheet and the defender getting over 70 or that kind of thing. Okay, I'm just getting a wee example up for you. So I'll show you how this works quite quickly, okay? Because this is an important tool. If you're not familiar with SoRare Data, SoRareData.com, the link's in the description down below. And then you just need to find a player page. I'm just using Jan on Black as an easy example. The far right here, the combos tab, you just smash that. And then it shows you just basically his SO5 scores, which is cool. And you can see there he's blue and he's all black at the bottom. You can scroll down this list here. Cards you own, cards you don't own, whatever. And you just hit this little plus button. And then it'll add them into the graph. And what you're looking for is those dots to be quite tight together. Then you've got real correlation between all black scores well, so does Trippier. Okay, now, like I said at the beginning of the video, and then there's some excellent stats here as well, just our combined score, average minutes, that kind of stuff, Like I said at the beginning of the video, stacks isn't something that I go for or I deliberately try and build out. Okay, now there is a lot of strength and a lot of merit to doing that, but for me, correlation on this kind of thing isn't absolute gospel. Don't get me wrong, it's very valuable if you can make your decision making easier just by having like a set team. Maybe, quite famously, Ajax stacks, Bayern Munich stacks, Benfica stacks, Porto stacks, these types of things are very prevalent, very popular, very successful. Okay, but they're not every time, and because it's only 5-a-side, your number one contending with the team selection. Will guys get rotated? Will they get subbed off after 50 minutes? There's a lot of other things going on. The kind of stacks, and the example I used there with All Black and Trippier, the kind of stacks that I deploy are what I call accidental stacks. Okay, so whenever I'm going out and picking up cards, I am not picking them up because they're going to match somebody else or they're going to pair with somebody else. It's not something I outwardly consider or value really that much. I'm always just looking for the individual. That guy has to have enough merit to get himself into my club, whether it be, super rare Trippier or an Oblak or any other card you tend to think about. Okay, now when it becomes a situation where through that process I end up with an Oblak and a Trippier, then the opportunity for me to stack is something I will consider, because they're both cards that I've collected individually for their own merit. And then by coincidence, if I've got them both from the same team, whether they transfer eventually into the same team, sometimes that's happened with me, then those are the types of stacks I'm like, yeah, okay, I can play with that, I can run with that. Now, one thing I would say, let me go get the goalkeepers up. Okay, so the key thing with stacking, okay, there's lots of different positions or whatever. You could stack a couple of forwards and a midfielder if you're going for a gung-ho approach, you're backing a team to score tons of goals or whatever. But the most common configuration of a stack is like a goalkeeper defender, maybe two defenders, maybe goalkeeper defender midfielder, that kind of thing, because keeping a tight defensive unit or a clean sheet is an attractive proposition for people to be chasing down. Okay, now here's the goalkeeper page. Now, out of the goalkeepers I've got here, and I'm not going to name them all, you can see them, how many stacks defensively do you think are really worthwhile going out and acquiring deliberately because of the goalkeeper I own? Okay, scrolling through this, I would probably say, you guys at home would maybe say 2 or 3. Okay, if you'd say any more than that, leave it in the comment section down below and let me know exactly what you think. But what I'm very aware of is the goalkeepers are very crucial parts of the stack. Good goalkeepers are very expensive. Okay, so you might want to do an Atletico Madrid stack, but you just do not have the money for Oblak. You only have the money for a Trap or a Nubel, or I'm just looking at our goalkeepers out here, Sean Johnson, whatever. So if you don't have the ability to get the goalkeeper to complement the stack down to finances or strategy preferences, whatever, then does that mean you don't want to get that defender because you can't get the goalkeeper? I would say absolutely not. Still get that defender you want. And again, the kind of example that's springing to my mind as I'm saying this tease out loud is like a Van Dijk or a Robertson. So I've not got Alisson. I would love an Alisson. I'm not going to go. I can't imagine myself buying an Alisson anytime soon. But the conundrum I can find myself coming into is, okay, Oblak and Trippier feels easy, sounds easy. Sounds like it should work. Sounds like a good strategy. But what I've noticed over the last 3 or 4 game weeks is I've not actually been playing them together. And I've had guys like Van Dijk or Hakimi or I think maybe even Kessler. I've had different defenders pair with the goalkeeper. And I've got no problem doing that. It's not something I'm deliberately trying to go against the grain on stacking. I've always done this kind of stuff, you know. But what is really highlighted to me is I can play Oblak. And he's not going to get a clean sheet. He's not had a clean sheet in a couple of games. He's going to pick up about 40 odd points or so. Trippier is also going... In his last 5, you can see he's averaging about 40s and such as well. If I just stick with them blindly, I'm then walking away with 80 points. Whereas if I pair them with another defender who is better than Trippier, who will have the same output potential, if not maybe greater, but I fancy their fixture a little bit better than the Atletico Madrid one, but I've not got an Alisson, or I've not, the goalkeeper for this other defenders club isn't licensed yet, or whatever it might be, then I'm always, like you guys will know in the streams, I'm always looking to pick the best players to go into the best teams. I don't care that I don't like care if it's the same team or different teams, you know. I don't actively try and make a stack and I don't actively try and go against it. I'm just picking the best guys every single time. The moral to that kind of little rant is, in my opinion, the best stacks are the accidental ones. When you've picked up 2 or 3 cards on individual merit and then you go, oh, do you know what? I've actually got 3 Liverpool cards now, or I've got 5 Atletico Madrid cards. What an odd coincidence. Or you'll probably notice that as you're acquiring slowly but surely. But that kind of thing, for me, are the stacks that do well versus the ones where you're like, oh, I can afford a Heerenveen stack. I can afford that. I can go get the goalkeeper and the defender and a super rare and I can do all this and it won't cost that much. Well, do you know what? Heerenveen stacks are not going to win that much, probably. I've just said Heerenveen, I don't know why. But you get the point, I'm sure. You know, it's not always, the stack isn't the make or the break of the strategy as such, you know. Now, the SoRare Data tool I've showed you already, I highly recommend you get very much up to speed with it, get very familiar with it, get used to finding nice correlation. Now, the disclaimer that comes along with that, okay, is when you're looking for correlation, sometimes when you're looking for something, you'll find it because you're looking for it. It's not really there, you know. So it's something to bear in mind when you are trying to compose, do you know what, can I get a nice, easy, cheap goalkeeper defender pair, or a double striker pair, or double midfield, or what, you know, whatever it is you're trying to get, that correlates really well. And then you go looking for it, and you might see something that's not there, but you convince yourself it is. So I would be wary of that. The kind of correlation that you're looking for is clear. You're not having to make a case, you're not having to make an argument with yourself to like, oh no, that kind of marries up, and oh, that guy get booked that game, and if he never get booked, his score, blah blah blah, that kind of stuff. Coincidence, I can't say it enough, guys. Coincidental stacks are probably for me the best because you're treating every card on an individual basis. If you look for correlation, you tend to find it. And goalkeeper control is the main thing because most of you guys at home will only have, let's just say you've got 3 goalkeepers. You know, to go and get the matching defender for each of them, and then really negates the other defenders you've got, the other cards you've been picking up, and it makes some of them subservient and probably redundant, you know. And you don't want to have cards like that. You don't want to buy another card because it matches your goalkeeper purely for the sake of, oh, it makes a stack kind of thing. Because like I gave you with the Van Dijk example, you know, if I've got an Oblak and I'm like, right, okay, what defender am I going to get him paired with? Oh, I could play Van Dijk, or do you know what, I'd love to get a stack. Why don't I go get a Jose Jimenez? Well, do you know what, Jose Jimenez doesn't score the same as Van Dijk, you know. So now the benefit you get, right, if you're a bit more of a passive user, or you're not wanting to live and breathe SO5 stats and data and really get under the numbers with everything, then stacking can make your part-time experience or your passive experience much easier, much more enjoyable, and, you know, maintenance on your gallery, etc. can be much easier to deal with. So there is a lot of merit in that. But the goalkeeper control is a big part of it, because if you're only, unless you've got every top goalkeeper going, or you can get any goalkeeper you desire, then you're really limited to what goalkeeper you get. And to be honest with you guys, a lot of the cheap goalkeepers, in my opinion, the direct defender that you can get, that you would want to pair with them, is probably not the best card for that money. You know, you'll probably find other guys that play with a goalkeeper you can't afford, that you can play an SO5 with the goalkeeper you can afford. And for me, that pairing is much more feasible towards success than just that, oh, they've got the same shirt, so we'll stick them together and pop them in kind of idea. Correlation isn't gospel. Success is a metric, guys, okay? Now, with stacking, the whole point of it is to get up the leaderboard, bag some prizes. Success is the metric, you know, and what we're trying to use as a test is probability. You know, we're trying to guess lineups as well as the likelihood of correlation on the scores panning in the way it does, you know. So please remember that. If you're stacking and it's not getting you anywhere, then have to reevaluate that at some point. And equally, if it's not something you've ever entertained, it's definitely something you should be exploring, because you should be open to as many strategies and possibilities as possible to make sure, because guys, to hit big, you just need one game week to go your way. And if it's going stack or going anti-stack, you know, if you finish first, who gives a fuck? You know, really, I say success is the key metric on this, guys. So with stacking, for this video today, guys, like I say, I cannot say it enough. Coincidental stacks are the best way to go, in my opinion, guys. On individual merit, get a place in your club, get a place in SO5 for you. And if by coincidence, or do you know what, the 3 of them, I've got another good example I'll show you real quickly, okay? So I have in my gallery at the moment, so let's just hit Champion America. Can I get all? Actually, I think I'll go into SoRare to show you this, okay? So I've been buying MLS cards, as you guys will know, since, we've got a notification. What's going on today? I've got an offer. Okay, I'll come back to that in a minute. So I've got a bunch of super rares from MLS. Okay, now I picked these guys up because I like them. I watch MLS, I watch highlights, I watch matches, and I think, oh, he could be valuable at D3 level. He could be valuable at D2 level, that kind of thing. And by pure coincidence, I've ended up with like an Atlanta. I won a Brooks Lennon, which was very fortunate, but mainly an LA Galaxy stack contingent, you know, where I've got midfielders coming out the wazoo, I've got strikers, all sorts of stuff, you know. And those accidental situations where you know, just to wind back, okay, I got Barco and Ephra for buttons because they were high ceiling youth prospects. That's all cool. Same with Kessler. That's all cool. Joseph Martinez was a card I never thought I would get my hands on at super rare level. Managed to pull it off, and just by coincidence, I already had the Barco. I didn't go after Martinez thinking, I've got Barco, so I need Martinez. It was just, fuck, can I afford a Martinez? Am I going to get this? Yes, here it comes. And then when I go and win the Brooks Lennon, it's just like, oh, fantastic. I, by coincidence, have the top striker and have the key midfielder. So I've now got a little trifecta of Atlanta, which is lovely, and I'm very much enjoying it. Same with LA. I picked up a legit because when MLS came on, he was one of the first names on my hit list, and we never got him until this season. We never got one last year. Grancier and Cabral, as well as Efra, who I spoke about before, are all guys individually that I thought I can get at good prices that can make a good impact for me for SO5. And then, do you know what? By coincidence, they're on the same team. So then, by coincidence, when I see LA playing somebody shit, I can go, oh, brilliant, and pop them all together, and that's great. But I've never set out to build an Atlanta stack. I've never set out to build an LA stack. Each guy individually has merited me being interested in them and acquiring them, you know. I hope you've enjoyed this one, guys. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share, retweet, and all that good stuff. Stay out of trouble. YouTube's about to show you some other stuff I've made you might like, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.